Mirëmbrëma dhe përshëndetjet për zemërta. Së pari do të shpreh mirënjohje ndaj fondacionit Jarl Hjalmarson, një aleat shumë i çmuar, i kahershëm i Partisë Demokratike, presidentes Gustafsson dhe bashkëpunëtorëve të saj. Dua gjithashtu të shpreh mirëseardhjen zonjave të nderuara deputete, personalitetet të shquara nga Suedia, Kroacia, Kosova, Malizi, Serbia, pra nga rajoni. Të shpreh vlerësimin tim për çështje që keni zgjedhur në këtë konferencë. Çështje ka përkthim apo jo? Okay. I could go in English.
Sepse nuk po marrin vesh zonjat.
Then I'll change in English.
Yeah, I will speak in English.
Okay. That's. I'd like to express my deep appreciation for themes chosen for this debate. Very fundamental, most fundamental. EU enlargement and NATO and security. These are by far the most important matters for Albania, and not only for Albania, but for all Western Balkan countries working to be integrated in EU. Some of them are NATO members, so the matters are very crucial. EU integration for Albania and for DP is the top priority, because we believe a future in EU means for Albanian citizens more freedom, more prosperity, more security. That's why, to our party, it is the top priority of our program. We believe this process must be merit-based one. Only a merit-based process guarantees to our citizens freedoms and human rights, independent justice, guaranteed to them and to the country a functional market economy, and the acquis communautaire. Albania today is in a very special time. Few months ago, VDEM qualified Albania as an electoral autocracy. As a matter of fact, electoral autocracies are autocratic dictatorship. In the sense that they do accept pluralism, but they do oppress pluralism. If totalitarian dictatorships do not accept pluralism, no, do not allow, or create a fake pluralism like Tito did during his life, and Ramizalia copied it in his past years of dictatorship. But autocratic dictatorship, or called autocratic electoral autocracy, they have that is, they ruin, they destroy the most fundamental mechanism of a democratic society which has free elections. Which are free elections. If you look at the elections of May 11, last May 11 in Albania, you will find they are qualified elections in which the lines between state institutions and party structures were blurred or erased. That is, elections which took place in a party-state model. There never could be considered elections. This is a very fundamental problem of Albania's autocracy. But the second, which make it different, you have such model in Georgia also. But in Georgia, the difference is the following. In Georgia is the big brother, is Russia there, with all its tools, gas, and other means, which keeps in power a regime, an oppressive regime toward the opposition. In Albania, there is no Russia. There is drugs and extraordinary power also. That's why, as a matter of fact, drug cartels and organized crimes, they do not allow in this country, the rotation of power. And one of the very distinguished European parliamentarians which chaired the European Parliament mission in elections, stood in European Parliament that in Albania the organized crime do not allow the rotation of power. It had installed a narco-state. This is the first and only narco-state in Europe. What are the consequences? Devastating. That is, euro, which is the strongest currency in Europe and the unique, in Albania is depreciated more than 32%. What was the consequence of this depreciation? 100,000 export enterprises failed because they are dealing with euros. tens of thousands of workers lost their job and flee the country. But if you study planetary euro depreciation, you will find in Mexico depreciation is 17.4%. In Albania in 10 years, is 32%. Now you are in Tirana, you'll be watching all these towers around. Only 20% of money is coming from banking system. 80%, according to a very brave investigative journalist, she is very brave. She found 80% is coming from nobody knows. That's why I told you that if in Georgia the big brother is Russia, in Albania is not Russia, it's drugs, it's drug cartels. In such situation, we of course face a very difficult problems, but women are playing a very important role, are standing, and we will stand despite our enormous difficulties. We definitely will mobilize all our potentials in order to, what we ask all in all, we ask a technical government for a normal elections. There have been big problems with the constitution and the justice in the country. The Prime Minister blocked the investigation brutally. He blocked brutally of Vice Prime Minister because he was behind her in all acts, as a matter of fact. We try to make our voice listen. We work closely with our sister parties. We work closely with the EU institution, Council of Europe, and we are optimists because in the 90s, the communist dictatorship pretended that Albania will remain a shining far in the Adriatic Sea, but it is not going to remain a narco-state for a long time. We very much are committed to meet our duty, to meet our expectation, and we are very grateful to all of you for the support. We are grateful to all Albanian women which are supporting DP and the opposition. Thank you very much.
Faleminderit shumë. Thank you very much, President Berisha. As you mentioned, here are women from the region, and this is a conference that Jarl Hjalmarson and Vilma and Eva decided to have it here in Albania.